Rome, 1493. Candles flicker, golden goblets are raised in an empty toast, and laughter dissolves into the shadows, until, suddenly, everything stops. A cardinal gasps, his fingers clutching his throat. A chill runs through the room. The Borgias have struck again. The air thickens, dense and cold. The goblet slips from his fingers, and his eyes search the crowd for help, only to find gazes turning away in fear. He knows what is happening. He knows who is behind this. He is left with only one question. How much time does he have left? It is death. It is life. It has toppled kings, sown wonders. Conspiracy and science, crime and salvation. Echo of shadows, glimmer of light. This is poison, cure or curse, where the mortal and the miraculous blend into a single vial. How far would you go for power? For the Borgias, the answer was clear, to the very last sip of poisoned wine. We will explore the darkest side of history, science, and culture. Today, we travel to the heart of the Renaissance to unravel the legend of the most infamous family of poisoners, the Borgias, in a tale that endures to this day. But how much truth lies in their story? Italy, 15th century. Not a country, but a chessboard where every piece, dukes, popes, mercenaries, fights for power. Florence, Venice, Milan, Naples, the Papal States. Each city is a kingdom of its own, each alliance a ticking time bomb. Here, poison is not just a tool for murder, it is an art, a silent diplomacy. Amidst this backdrop, a name emerges that would soon make Rome tremble: Rodrigo Borgia, a man of Valencian origin who arrived in Italy with ambitions far greater than his Spanish accent. Rodrigo Borgia did not come to Rome to adapt, he came to conquer. His surname changed. His accent faded. He was no longer a foreigner, he was a predator in the Holy Land. Rodrigo Borgia was not born to be pope. He arrived in Italy under the protection of his uncle, Pope Calixtus III. While Columbus sailed toward the New World, another battle was being fought in Rome, a silent but deadly one. Rodrigo Borgia did not need armies to become Pope Alexander VI, he needed gold, and, according to rumors of the time, poison. The throne of St. Peter has been bought as if in a marketplace, and they say that 4 mules laden with silver were seen entering Cardinal Sforza's palace the night before the vote. But what was truly fascinating about Rodrigo Borgia was not just his ambition, but his modern understanding of power. He was a master of public relations before the term even existed. Alexander VI understood something that many contemporary politicians still exploit: if you control the narrative and generate enough fear, you can rule without needing to use force constantly. But what if everything we think we know about the Borgias is just a well-told story? It is time to separate myth from reality. What does the myth say? That the Borgias created a unique, undetectable poison, one that could be timed to kill in hours or days depending on the dose. And the reality? Cantarella was not magic. It was chemistry. Arsenic, belladonna, perhaps something more. But what made it lethal was not its formula, but its deadly precision. To put it into context, in an era without modern autopsies or toxicological analyses, proving poisoning was practically impossible. It was the perfect crime. The brilliance of using arsenic was that its symptoms could easily be mistaken for common illnesses of the time: abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea. Additionally, it could be administered in small doses over weeks, making death appear natural. Some theories suggest that Cantarella was not a single poison but a precise blend of lethal ingredients. In fact, its name may derive from cantharides, the Latin term for Spanish fly, a powerful aphrodisiac used since antiquity that, in high doses, was lethal. If Rodrigo Borgia was the mastermind, his children were his instruments. Cesare Borgia. Warrior. Strategist. Machiavelli took him as the model for the prince. Lucrezia Borgia. Beautiful. Enigmatic. Her name became marked by rumors of incest and poisonings. The Borgias' moral corruption reached its peak in what is known as the Banquet of the Chestnuts, possibly the most infamous party of the Renaissance. In the papal chambers, 50 courtesans were summoned to dance naked after dinner. Chestnuts were thrown to the floor for them to pick up on all fours, while the Pope, his sons, and the guests watched the spectacle before joining them in carnal acts. Prizes were awarded to those who demonstrated the greatest vigor with these women. Did this banquet truly take place? Historians debate its authenticity, but the account was documented by Johannes Burchard, the Vatican's master of ceremonies. Truth or propaganda, this scandal symbolized, for many, the moral decadence that the Borgias brought to the papacy. Intrigue, murder, and a name that still instills fear, whose shadow lingers in literature and cinema. Cesare, the warrior son, preferred the sword over poison, though he did not hesitate to use it when necessary. A curious fact, it is said that Cesare wore a ring with a secret compartment for poison, like a medieval spy. He could discreetly pour it into an enemy's cup during a toast. Cesare represented the new Renaissance politics, pragmatic, ruthless, and effective. Machiavelli used him as a model in The Prince, admiring his determination to do whatever was necessary to achieve his goals. It is important to remember that Lucrezia was only 13 years old when she was first married. She was more of a pawn on the board than a player. Her reputation as a poisoner was likely exaggerated by the Borgias' enemies. One anecdote perfectly illustrates the Borgias' reputation. It is said that at a banquet, when Lucrezia entered the room, several guests discreetly emptied their wine cups. No one wanted to take the risk. Like all great stories of power, the Borgia tale also has its downfall. And guess what? Poison plays a crucial role here too. In August 1503, Pope Alexander VI and his son Cesare suddenly fell ill after dining with Cardinal Adriano da Corneto. The symptoms: vomiting, fever, and severe dehydration. The Pope died a few days later, while Cesare survived. The Grand Master of Poison, the architect of intrigue, now writhing on his deathbed. Was it malaria, a fatal mistake, or betrayal from within his own circle? The same rumors he used to rule now condemned him. And so, in August 1503, the man who poisoned Rome died surrounded by his own poisons. One theory suggests that the sommelier mixed up the bottles. Another, that the cardinal himself, suspecting his guests' intentions, set the trap. It's the perfect irony, we will never know for sure. Poisoned by mistake? A victim of his own medicine? Or simply defeated by nature? The irony is perfect. We will never know the truth. If we could exhume the body today, we would likely find traces of the malaria parasite, not arsenic. But it's far more romantic to think that he died as he lived, amidst intrigue and poison. After his death, Cesare tried to uphold the legacy. But without the shadow of his father, the enemies who once feared him now smelled blood. Betrayed, captured, humiliated, he finally fell in battle in 1507. Lucrezia survived until 1519, having transformed into a respected Duchess of Ferrara. Why, after more than 500 years, do the Borgias still captivate our imagination? The answer lies in how their legacy of intrigue and power continues to echo in our culture. From the stranger's wine in Game of Thrones to the ruthless strategies of succession, the Borgia legacy still pulses in our stories. Intrigue, manipulation, power, Their poison is still here, it has just changed its vessel. Even in modern politics, their shadow lingers. Expressions like poisoning the public discourse or toxic politics are no coincidence, they evoke the same atmosphere of distrust and paranoia that this family mastered. The Borgias understood something crucial. The fear of poison can be more powerful than poison itself. Their true weapon was uncertainty, the constant doubt that ate away at their enemies. It's a psychological strategy we see replicated in stories like House of Cards, where the mere threat is almost as lethal as the act itself. And so, we conclude this journey through the most poisonous dynasty in history. The Borgias leave us with a chilling lesson: absolute power poisons. But the question remains: were they truly the villains history has painted them to be, or did they simply play by the rules of their time better than anyone else? The Borgias are gone, but their poison remains. Not in golden goblets, but in speeches, strategies, and half-truths. Because power, like poison, never disappears, it only changes form. If a single drop of poison could guarantee you the success you've always dreamed of, with no one ever discovering it, what would stop you? Your principles or fear? The security protocols that protect world leaders today, identical cups, food testers, and trusted staff handling their meals, originated directly after the Borgias. Their legacy is not just crime, but also modern security. Every time a president dines in public, the echoes of the Borgias are there. In the next episode, we will explore another poison with a fascinating history, from deadly botulism to the mystery behind Hollywood's wrinkle-free faces. Don't miss it. If you liked this episode, subscribe and share it. Leave your comments, because, in the end, the history of poisons is, in many ways, the history of humanity. Poison, Cure or Curse is a production of Francisco Martinez. Thank you for listening. Until the next episode.